Well, hello, and it's a great privilege to be able to share with Lliswerry Baptist Church today. My name's Chris. I once came to Lliswerry Baptist quite a few years ago, until I was about 2, and now I'm the minister at Lliswerry Baptist Church in Newport in South Wales. So it's a great privilege for me to be able to share with you today. We've done a bit of a swap this week, so Pastor Shaun is going to be speaking to Lliswerry on Lliswerry's YouTube channel, and so I'm going to be sharing with you today. And I'd like us really to focus on one particular verse, which is Psalm 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. I wonder how you feel you've been affected by lockdown. Some people are busier than ever before. I know from the stuff that your church is doing on YouTube, your church is very busy, very active, which is good in getting the word of God out. And for some people, they feel their life's on hold and it's very boring. And some people feel it's just the same as it was before. But the reality is, life is very different. The world is very different to what any of us could have expected at the start of the year. And it's been great to see the way churches remain active through all of this, and the way that churches are looking to get the word of God out and working in the community still. I mean, this particular psalm describes God as being a refuge and strength, an ever-present help in a time of trouble. This is about God bringing about the victory, knowing that God is going to bring the ultimate victory. And we read in verse 10, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. How often are we ever still? How active are we? Maybe physically active, or active in terms of our thinking and what we might be going on in our heads. How often do we take moments to be still? I find it quite a challenge, just carving out time in the day to be still. Sometimes even coming to our daily devotions, reading through it quickly because you've got a list of all these other jobs that you've got to do in the day. The idea of being still is very counter to our culture today. Doing nothing or being still could be seen as being unproductive, even lazy. And yet it's important that we take moments to be still, to really seek God in whatever is within our own personal journey with Jesus, or within our church. Taking moments to be still. I wonder if you've ever been guilty of this. I know I certainly have. Not spending enough time in prayer and listening to God. Because in my mind there's so many things that need to be done that day or that week. Taking time to be still. In our prayer life, listening to God as well as speaking. In this season of lockdown, a lot of the regular things within churches have stopped. Yes, the church is still very active, but a lot of our regular programs in all churches have been placed on hold. Are we all taking the moments to be still? To know that He is God? We can spend so much time and effort doing things in our own strength, but taking the moments to be still, to allow God to be at work. I've got to be honest, I'm not very good at this. Taking moments to allow God to be at work when we like to be in control. It's one of the biggest things for so many people with lockdown, the lack of control, the uncertainty. Isn't it good just to take those moments to remember God is in control? God will do something through this. We've heard encouraging things about how many more people are watching church services or sermons online who wouldn't normally go to church. God is at work. We can sometimes really feel the burden of bringing about the word of God, the burden of sharing the good news. Perhaps you can think about it within friends and family. And here we're reminded it's not down to us or our strength. He says, be still and know that I am God. It challenges me to think about how much time do we spend seeking God. This is easier for some people than others. Some of you may feel it's very easy to take moments to be still. to listen to God. And for some of us, it's a real challenge when our diaries are so full. The day ahead looks so full. Next week looks so full. How often are we taking time just to be still? And it can work in different ways. For us, for some people, it literally is just sitting and being still. Or in some cases, it can just be committing the day to God. Asking him to allow us to have moments where we can be still. And to ask ourselves to be listening to him throughout the day. Allowing him to speak to us. And the more we get to know God, the more we recognise his voice. Spending time in his word. Reflecting upon it. We can all have moments where we charge in, where we go through things very quickly, read through our daily devotions quickly, rush through our prayer time. But taking those moments to be still, to know that he is God. Maybe you find this quite a challenge. Let us be encouraged that we can all take moments, even set it a challenge for us for this week, to take 5 minutes in the day just to be still. Allow God to refresh us. Maybe you don't feel very refreshed at all at the moment. I don't know what sort of week you might have had. But taking those moments to be still. And as we seek God in the future, for Shirley Baptist Church, for Lliswerry Baptist Church, for God's people throughout this nation, let us take moments to be still. To seek him for the way forward. There's going to be big decisions that will have to be taken by all churches about when and how they reopen and what sort of programmes look like in the future and what from our regular programmes can happen at the moment and all of those things. And it needs wisdom. And for that wisdom, we have to take time to listen to God. You may have heard this said before, but you wouldn't go to the doctor, tell the doctor everything that's wrong with you, and then leave. We want to hear what the doctor has to say. Our prayer life can be as much about listening as talking to God. Talking to God's so important. He loves to hear from us. But also we need to take those moments to be still. This psalm describes God as being a refuge and strength, ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth will give way, the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, and the mountains quake with their surging. God is still there. God brings about the ultimate victory. And that's so important for us in the time of uncertainty, to know that he's won the ultimate victory. Jesus won the ultimate victory by going to the cross. That good news is there for us. And whatever happens, however this all comes out in the end, however church looks in the future, in spite of all the uncertainty, let us all take the moments to say we know God is in control, to be still, to know that he will bring about the right plan and he will make things far greater than we could ever imagine. I want to encourage you this week, whatever might have gone before and whatever lies ahead this coming week, to take those moments each day to be still. May God bless you and be encouraged, because you as a fellowship have remained very much in my prayers. God bless you.